10 unbelievable military finds you won't believe. War is never a good thing. Unfortunately, several nations have battled out each other from west to east, north to south, causing bloody scenes with the blasts of bullets and bombs rending the air. The aftermath of such clashes is usually characterized by massive destructions, death, injuries, and war artifacts. Today in this video, we will share with you 10 unbelievable military finds you won't believe unless really existed. You may be amazed at what such accidental discoveries, especially the final 3. But before we begin, kindly subscribe to our channel for more of our amazing content. Also, don't forget to turn on the notification button for timely updates of our new videos. Let's get it on. Number 1. The Terracotta Army Center. China's first emperor, Qin Shi Huang, is arguably one of the most remarkable leaders that ever ruled the world. Qin was so much into power that he wanted to lead even after his death, and with this, the famous Terracotta Army came to existence. The Terracotta Army is a form of funerary art that was buried with the emperor in between 210 to 209 BC, and whose purpose was to protect him in his afterlife. This dumbfounding scenery was discovered in the year 1974 by villagers and is one of the most famous archaeological sites in the world. Forensic study both by scientists and archaeologists concluded that the army consisted of more than 8,000 soldiers, 130 chariots with 520 horses and 150 cavalry horses. The Terracotta Army is said to have been in existence for more than 2,200 years. Excavation is still ongoing to unravel more information about this scenic marvel. Number 2. Mazy Battery. This was one of the largest German defensive positions in the 1944 America's landing area built during the Battle of Normandy. The Mazy Battery was covered after the end of the Second World War in an attempt to avoid enemies from accessing it. However, after years of searching and investigations, it was uncovered in 2006 after being out of human sight for almost 60 years. It hosts several bunkers, each said to be having an average of 4 rooms. The 2-mile German trenches also housed more than 15 massive guns, which were built in total secrecy to be used during the war. It had the role of defending the coastline behind the western end of Omaha sector, at the southern edge of Utah sector. The Mazy, which still has original German guns in place, also housed the Army Commander's office. Inside the commander's bomb-proof headquarters, the men of F Company, 5th Rangers, blew the doors off during an assault on the building. Today, Mazy has an extensive display of World War II cannons, howitzers, and a landing craft, LCVP, and other items. Number 3. The 37 Mk1 World War I bomb. In June 2019, a couple from Maryland, Kelly and Shannon, were working in their flower bed when they came across a 37 Mk1 World War I projectile. The unexploded military ordnance is believed to have had made its way to the couple's flower garden from the Aberdeen Proving Ground on the Chesapeake Bay, which is 10 miles away. After this startling discovery, the dumbfounded couple reported to the authorities, who responded quickly and disposed of the dangerous weapon. There have been discoveries of such military ordnances around Maryland where they were being made during the war era. Number 4. Wreckage of a Soviet World War II bomber. During World War II, the United States made military aircraft available to Allied nations to fight against Nazis of Germany. In January 2020, historians in southern Poland reported having uncovered wreckage of a World War II bomber that belonged to the Soviet Union Air Force that was down more than 75 years ago. The American-made military air machine was discovered in woods near Byrontown. Around the same spot, surviving witnesses said that there were flames on January of 1945. Around the same time, the aircraft was brought down. Human remains and torn pieces of Soviet Union soldiers' uniforms were also found on the scene. Records reveal that the plane was on a mission to bomb a railway junction near Ostrava, now in the Czech Republic, when a German fighter downed it. Number 5. The Smith gun. After being declared obsolete in 1945, the Smith gun went out of the public eye. It was an anti-Hawk, anti-tank artillery piece used by the British Army and Home Guards during the Second World War. It was dubbed the Smith gun because of the man behind its invention was a retired British Army major known as William Smith. It was used as a makeshift anti-tank weapon during the World War II. The weapon consisted of a 3-inch, 76mm smooth-bore barrel and approximately 54 inches, 1,400mm long nozzle mounted on a carriage and capable of firing both modified 3-inch mortar anti-tank and anti-personnel rounds. Remains of Mr. Smith's discovery are kept at the Royal Armories, Fort Nelson. Number 6. Carrier pigeon and its secret message. I know this may come across as a surprise, but hold your beer. During the Second World War, the United States and its allies used these birds to send messages between various units and sites. A capsule was attached to the bird's leg and sent along via radio, messenger, or signal telegraphs. When a pigeon carrying the message from the front arrived at its coop, it would sound an alarm, and the message would be retrieved. The enemies were well aware of this and trained their hawks to attack the messenger pigeons. Remains of one such pigeon were discovered in Surrey in 2012 in a chimney. The skeletal remains of the bird had the red message canister attached to its leg. Number 7. The USS Nevada. The USS War Tool dubbed Nevada was one of the most resilient warships that ever existed, and until today, questions of what might have made it go down during the 4-day naval gunfire exercise are still unanswered. It had survived various bomb tests in multiple locations, including Pearl Harbor, Normandy, Okinawa, and even 2 nuclear tests. Muddy remains of the most formidable ship of the Second World War were recently discovered deep in the Pacific Ocean. Wreckage of this ship that survived a 23-kiloton were found still intact after staying underwater for more than 70 years. The battleship rested upside down more than 65 nautical miles southwest of Pearl Harbor, at a depth of about 15,400 feet beneath the Pacific Ocean. Number 8. A Soviet T-34 tank. Upon deployment in 1941, the Soviet T-34 battle tank was one of the weapons that nearly changed the course of the war on the Eastern Front. This tank is said to have posed vast superiority over the German armor that it fought against. The Germans were forced to convert their fabled 88mm guns to serve as an anti-tank weapons to contain the apocalyptic T-34 tank. In 2015, divers in the Don River discovered an intact Soviet T-34 tanker sitting on the riverbed. The tanker had fallen on the river as it tried to cross a bridge that couldn't contain its massive weight of about 30 tons. It wasn't in awful condition, even though it had stayed underwater for more than 70 years. It's currently being restored at the Patriot Park Military Museum in Russia. Number 9. An ammunition box with 2 German pistols. Towards the end of the Second World War in 1945, much fighting took place in the Eastern Front. In late 2013, a random search into the battlefields did not go in vain, as researchers that toured the area were lucky to discover a German MG-34-42 machine gun box with 2 German pistols. The military box was found a few feet under the ground, where it's believed it had called home for more than 60 years. Apart from the weapons, other war equipment parts were also discovered. Number 10. The USS Juneau ship. During the World War II, troops were sent into missions, but unfortunately, they never accomplished some missions. Neither did they get their work back home. Another battleship that sunk during the Second World War was the Juneau ship. This is the ship sunk the famously known Sullivan brothers during the naval battle at Guadalcanal. This war machine was heavily damaged by a Japanese soldier's torpedo. However, the Great Juneau came to terms with its unpromising condition the following morning on the 13th of November 1943, when it broke into half and dramatically sank in less than a minute. The wreckage would later be hit again by a Japanese submarine, sinking it even deeper. During the tragic incident, only 10 soldiers survived out of a possible 800. March 2018, the ship's wreckage was spotted by researchers on the floor of the Pacific Ocean. The vessel is over 2.5 miles beneath the surface near the Solomon Islands. Did you enjoy our video? Click on the subscribe button for more of our incredible videos. Give us a like and share the video. Let us know what you think in the comments section below.